Greetings from Cybertron. This is SoundJack here with a review of the Transformers Titans Return Deluxe Class Firedrive and Autobot Hot Rod. So, Hot Rod was originally one of the 1986 Autobot cars, tie-in with the movie, new toy line, not new toy line, but new aesthetic for the toy line, one of those Autobot car guys. In 1987, when the Target Masters came out, he got re-released, except with an Autobot Target Master partner, Firebolt. And then, since all the seems like Target Masters are also getting grouped into the Headmasters for this toy line, and we'll talk a couple more of those. Well, one more of those later this week in terms of Target Masters, but we got Hot Rod converted into a Headmaster for this toy line. And instead of Firebolt, his Time Master partner is called Firedrive. So let's take a look at Firedrive first. And he is gray. He is solid gray. There is no color deviation on his main body. His head is gray, though it has a nice visor and face going on. The chest is gray, the arms are gray, the legs are gray, but there's some pretty neat detailing going on there. And then on the back, you got Hot Rod's face going on there. For articulation, his head is able to rotate a full 360. His arms are able to bend that far out, and they are able to go to the side that far. His legs are able to bend that far forward and that far back, and his knees are able to bend that far back and that far forward. And to transform, you just collapse them in half, and you got Hot Rod, Firedrive in Hot Rod's head mode. You just have a little bit of smudged blue paint on that forehead, on that crest though, which is unfortunate. Though besides that, the rest of the head is nice with the red and then the white. Though I think they could have picked it out in a little bit of color. A little bit of yellow around those crests. But still very nice head mode. Head sculpt, I should say. And that's all for Firedrive, so let's take a closer look at Hot Rod. And Hot Rod is a very sleek, very nice sports car going on here. And you can see on the front, he's got a little bit of orange going on for those headlights. A very nice silver engine with an orange hood, yellow flames, and nice Autobot symbol bordered in white over there. Back here you got some translucent blue for the cockpit. I'm going to just call that a cockpit because, yeah, the seating compartment, whatever. And then a bit of red paint going on back here to give the right detail. And then it's pretty red over here. Along the side, he's got these nice exhaust pipes going on in the back, as well as purely black wheels, no paint on them whatsoever. He's got his very large, very nice yellow spoiler going on in the back there. And in the back, you can see those exhaust pipes. You can see like a thruster and some vents going on there. And then on the underside, you see the underside of the vehicle. And most of it is fairly well hidden. You get the legs, you get a little bit of the chest right there, but for the most part, everything's hidden away, though it's a bit gappy up in here. With a little bit of white, and yeah, there is a little bit of white going on underneath here, under there for those bits, like so. And as he does have four wheels, he is completely capable of rolling. He does have two accessories. He has these two guns, which can attach onto ports on the sides of his vehicle mode. There. And there. And there. And there. There we are. And you can have two low-riding guns going off the side of Hot Rod. Or you can take them out. Take them out like so. And you are able to combine them, and this is how Firedrive is going to be able to sit in Hot Rod. And you gotta just get everything lined up properly so all of those tabs and holes connect together. Then you take these two posts there, and you plug them into the two holes there and there. And then you can stick the giant gun on the front, reminiscent of how Firebolt was able to store on Hot Rod in the car mode,
which is a very nice touch. And then this is Tire Master. This is the Tire Master seat, so you can get Firedrive into a seating position. Put the post on the back of his legs into the hole there. Doesn't necessarily tab, but like the hole, like it goes through the hole. So like that's where it's supposed to go. And then you got Firebolt sitting in the gun that is riding on Hot Rod's engine. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Besides that, and there's no other places to store the guns on the car mode. Besides that, there are these two tiny posts that can go fit the holes at the bottom of Time Master seat, so they can plug in. So you can have Firedrive standing on the back of Hot Rod, and you can open up the cockpit and then put Firedrive in that same seating position, and then there's that hole for the tabs on the back of his legs. Plug them in there, that will tab in, and then you got Firedrive sitting in Hot Rod. I keep saying Firebolt. And you got him sitting like that. And now let's take a look at some size comparisons. Here they are with Legends Class Bumblebee. And you can see how they scale next to each other. Deluxe Class Chrome Dome. And you can see Hot Rod is longer, especially with the spoiler. Without the spoiler, he is just barely longer because of those gray bits in the back there. They're pretty much the same length with, no, yeah, actually, never mind. They are about the same length pretty much. It's just the spoiler gives Hot Rod a little more overall length. Whoops. Maybe he's a little longer if that's properly flipped up. We got Leader Class Megatron. And you can see that scale there. Nope, Megatron, you leave. Hot Rod, you stay. And then we have Leader Class 6-Shot. And you can see how that scales. So that's all there is to say on Hot Rod in his vehicle mode. So let's roll right along to the robot mode. And to do that, first things first, we're gonna untab this entire back assembly. There are these tabs will go into those slots in the spoilers there. And then I do have to figure out, I don't think anything else connects because it kind of looks like that connects, but that's a connection for the robot mode. Then you bring this whole assembly up like so, rotate it around, and we'll leave it there for now. Next, what we're going to do, we're going to come up here. I'm going to untab the sides like so, and try not to untab everything else. And those little pipes right there will go into the holes in those pipes there. So those into there, and then that tab there goes into that. Sorry, that tab there goes into that slot there, and that's how those connect in. Then you're gonna fold the legs down and rotate the waist 180. And you'll split the legs, fold the feet down, collapse the wheels onto the back, fold the feet down, collapse the wheels onto the back, and then you got the legs all done. Next, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the hands and fold them out. Then you actually have to untab the arm, just for greater articulation. So just untab those arms, make sure they are untabbed, and then you are good to go there. Yeah, we're good. Just making sure. Next, you fold the front of the car down like so, and then collapse the rest of the front of the car down onto his chest like that. And then you finish the back by taking these tabs, putting them into those slots right there. So that all connects nicely. And then all you need is a head. So you take Firedrive, fold him in half, and plug him into Hot Rod. And there you have Hot Rod in his robot mode. And boy, does this look nice. This looks so very nice, so very sleek. So taking a closer look here, we got his head going on. You saw the head already. You got the chest going on with the engine and the flames and all of that. You did see that in the car mode, so not a whole lot to talk about there. But you also have this nice gray ab section going on right there. Nice red crotch. Yellow thighs going on there. You got the gray kneecaps, which were those vents from the back of the car. Bit of silver picking out the lower thigh. Solid gray feet going on there. The arms, you got more of the white comes out in this form. Arms are pretty solid red until you get to the yellow fists. They're kind of more of an orangey yellow, but I'll just call them yellow for the sake of consistent. Well, that's yellow. That's probably more of an orange in comparison, but they are probably like a yellow. It's kind of like a squash kind of a yellow, I think, or orange, whatever. I don't know. Someone correct my color identification, please. So that yellow orange going on there. Then you got them pipes on the sides, and you got the wheels there. And then on the back, you got the spoiler, and you got these extra pipes on the back there. So for articulation, his head has the same articulation as Firedrive's head. Able to rotate a full 360, though the bits on the side here do get in the way of the feet. And also this head does not tend to like being in there. I will freely admit that. Time Master head does not like to be in it. And the easiest way to do any fixes if you're having problems with heads getting in is to rotate Time Master head 180 degrees, and that should fix the connection. That honestly, surprisingly, the instructions don't really mention that, but really it feels like the right way to put Time Masters in is to flip the Time Masters robot heads 180 degrees so as they'll fit more snugly in the connection. But anyway, he is able to do that, but he does not have the same bobbing or wiggle waggle because just how how the stuff works around him. There's a little bit of a lip there going on. His head is like the snuggest in terms of like the space he's got for a Deluxe. The Voyagers do have problems with how the face buffing things work, but he is pretty snug and pretty tight with his articulation for a Deluxe Time Master. Other articulation, his arms are able to rotate a full 360. They can only bend that far out on the ball joint, but there is a hinge right there that allows his arm to bend out further, though he does end up hitting himself in the head. There is a bicep swivel, but you cannot get a full 360 out of it because of the tab that you need to connect to hold the arms together, so you are limited on that. Arms are, however, still able to bend a full 90 degrees, and the only wrist articulation is the transformation joint. Waist is able to rotate a full 360, like so, and legs are able to bend that far forward, only that far back. There's a little bit of a lip that gets in the way a little bit, but you can still get to go all the way back. Legs are able to go that far out, though the ball joints are very loose and they don't support that on this, at least my copy of the toy. Thigh swivel, rotate a full 360. Knee bend, slightly, it seems to be slightly less than 90 degrees because of things getting in the way, I will say. You do technically have it. No, hold on. Now you do not get a double knee bend because of how things collapse and connect together, even though there are two different hinges there. But you still have, you have very, very tiny foot ankle tilt, but it is there. So you know, yeah. So for his weapons, you can split them, and he can hold them in his hands, like so. If the legs want to stand. He does have some loose ball joints in his hips for whatever reason. Probably just the mileage may vary, nothing to worry about. You can fix that. And then you got him holding his guns in his hands. You can, I never thought of doing this, but let's see how ridiculous it looks plugging the combined weapon together. onto his chest. Let's see how ridiculous this looks. That looks very ridiculous. Hot Rod can't even see over it. Can we put them in the other way? Can we put them in? You can. You can get the guns going like that if you really want to. 5mm posts on the shoulders are still accessible, and there is no intentional storage for these weapons, but I have found a way that works, and it's by using the posts that plug into the engine part. And what you do is you just kind of wiggle the weapons in like so into the slots on the spoilers that connect to the car mode, and then just by having the arms stationary like so, you are able to put them upon his back. However, like if you move the arms out of the way, they're gonna fall out. But if you got him like sitting on your shelf, and like the arms are just down in this kind of a pose, you can still like get the arms in a pose. You can't, but if like they're too far forward, they're gonna fall out. But you can get the guns sitting on his back if you really want to try that. I found that as a nice way of like not of him just holding his weapons in a different position. But it's an option. It's an option that I have found. That's all there's to say on the robot mode. So now it's time for some robot mode size comparisons. Here he is with Legends Class Bumblebee. And you can see Bumblebee comes up to like about the little bits of the headlights that are on Hot Rod's chest. Deluxe Class Chrome Dome. And Hot Rod is substantially taller than Chrome Dome. It makes it more so, makes him look more so taller with those giant shoulders he's got going on. Even though like head to head he's just a little bit taller, but he does have a bit. It just feels like he's got a fair bit more to him than Chrome Dome does. Then we got Voyager Class Megatron, and you can see that size comparison with Hot Rod's head getting up to about those stickers. And then Leader Class 6-Shot. And you can see that Hot Rod at his head actually gets to near the top of those skirt panels. And 6-Shot's hips. And then, of course, here he is with the channel's mascots, Soundwave and Wheeljack. And you can see how he looks next to them. That's not centered. That's centered. Yeah, that looks good. So, all in all, Hot Rod is a pretty nice toy. Only a few minor things with him, like how the head connects to the body and all of that. The shoulders are a little weird with their articulation. And there's just different things that this toy does that other toys don't do with its transformation, especially with how the arms work. But it all in all looks very nice. The only thing is like in terms of the overall appearance, the only thing I can say potentially is that the shoulders are so large they block like the spoiler on his back, which is like a big part of his silhouette. But it still looks good in my opinion. It looks a lot better than the Classics mold to me, and I do have that and have had that though, and I'm probably going to get rid of that at some point, but not before I get a chance to review it on this channel, though that may still be quite a while off. But all in all, this Hot Rod is a very nice figure and is very nice deluxe from this very nice wave of Wave 3 Deluxes. Not the nicest. I have to figure out which one is the nicest out of this wave, but still very nice. Very nice. Better than the Breakaway, not as good as the other two that will be reviewed later this week, but still a very nice figure, and I would recommend picking him up. So, even though, unless you want to wait for the Power of the Prime's Leader Class figure of Rodimus Prime, which also has a deluxe Hot Rod body inside. So, maybe you don't want to pick him up because you can get another version of him. But if you want this one, which I still think is very nice, get him. You can go get him. That's all. Okay, that's all I have to say on Hot Rod. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please like and share this video and subscribe to the channel. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at SoundJack426. Also, please consider donating on my Patreon page to help support the channel. All the links will be in the description below. Thanks for tuning in. This is SoundJack signing off.